Hello, my friends. My name is Amanda with Manda Panda Projects, and today I have the absolute most adorable craft that we have made with a napkin from my big pack of Craftkins, you guys. This newest fall and Halloween round. I'm going to give you some ideas, and I just love this one. It is not your traditional average Halloween colors and everything, but pink is so incredibly trending right now. Go to Home Goods and you will find a blanket that will match this project perfectly because it is all over with the hippie vibe and the flower vibe. I'm just loving it. So make sure that you are following my page or subscribe to my channel. If you want to get on the wait list for the big pack of Craftkins to get cute Craftkins, check the description or the comment depending on where you're watching from, and the link to join the wait list will be there. So I just took this chalkboard sign that I got. Honestly, my mom gave it to me. I'm not even sure where it's from. You can get like things like this at Dollar Tree, Hobby Lobby, Dollar General, some sort of sign you would need. And then I just did my best to mix some white paint and some tan paint together. I believe it was khaki, and trying to match the background of that napkin. I ended up adding a little bit of yellow until it was just the right color to get that background color. So I painted the center of it with that. Then the same thing for the side. I did the best to match that purpley color. I used the Waverly Lavender and added in a little bit of gray and a little bit of black to kind of like darken and deepen it up a little bit, and until it was the perfect color. I got what I needed. I did one coat, and then I needed to do a second coat, so I went back and I went ahead and did a second coat on the sides. So that is my entire base, okay? So I got my base all done. Now we got to get to the napkin. So I am going to cut out one of these adorable napkins. I just love these. And then you're going to want to get it all the way down to 1 ply. I believe this is just a 2-ply napkin. And then I'm going to take my water pen and I'm going to go all along the outer edges, and I'm just going to kind of rip and feather those outer edges. This makes it so that when you Mod Podge it down, it doesn't have like a harsh edge, and it blends right in with the background, and you can't even tell that it's a napkin. So I just did that all around the entire perimeter of the whole napkin. Be careful not to get it, too wet so you don't rip the actual image. But once you get that good, then go ahead and take my Mod Podge. I just use a very, very thin coat. You really don't need much when working with napkins. Well, I don't find that you need much. I just, it dries clear, so I just guesstimated how big of an area I needed to cover. So I covered it up and I threw my napkin down. I just smooth it down with, you need some sort of plastic or something just so it doesn't rip the napkin. You can use saran wrap. I'm using my baby wipe container. You can do the iron method. I like to just do the traditional, good old decoupage method and embrace the wrinkles. All right, and then I had these little flowers these little wooden flowers that just go perfectly, but they were a little bit too bright. So I took my Kiehl's Dark Wax and I just kind of dirtied them up a little bit. I'm not necessarily grunging this whole project, but I am just giving it a little bit of a distressed vibe just because the colors in that napkin are really, really muted. They're not really bright. So I just kind of wanted to make sure everything was toned down enough. So I also took my Kiehl's Dark Wax and went over just the edges of the sign. I concentrated a little heavier on the little corners and the indentations. And I just did a little bit on the top and the bottom as well. Not too much. As you can barely even really see it from the camera. You can see it a little more in person. And then on the edges, I went ahead and decided to use this kind of pink. It's not really ruffle. I guess it is kind of ruffle. A little trim. So you end up not even being able to see the wax anyways. But I just thought this trim was so cute and it matched perfectly. And as you can see, it's starting to come together here. It's looking super cute. So I did that to the top as well as the bottom. Obviously, I did the top going facing out. I didn't do them both facing down, if that makes sense. All right, so I got that all done, and now I wanted to make a bow. So I took a little bit of fabric, and then this purple ribbon I coffee stained because it was way too bright. And then I took some really pretty floral burlap kind of ribbon. And originally I was making this bow to go in one of the top corners. As you're gonna see, I end up making it too big as per usual because I like big bows and I cannot lie. And I got carried away, so we had to adjust with the bow and put it at the bottom. but I threw in a little bit of lace in there too. And I just used my bow dabber to make my bow. I love my bow dabber, you guys. You don't have to have one, but I love it. And it certainly does help. Just helps with the bows. I'm telling you, it just gets you these perfect, easy to make bows. So once I got all the fabric layered up, fabric and ribbon actually. I used ribbon. I don't use ribbon a lot anymore, but I really did like how this bow turned out with the ribbon. So see, once I put it in the top, I probably could have spread out the tails and it would have looked cute, but I tried it at the bottom and I did like it at the bottom. I picture this being on like a door, more so than like a wall, I guess. So I just thought it worked at the bottom. So I glued it down there, and then I glued a solo wood flower to the center because I'm loving the flowers with this project. I called it Hippie Halloween Ghost Sign because that hippie vibe is what it's got. So I glued the flowers down, and there we go. Oh my goodness. Don't mind. I have a sage kind of green door, so it doesn't really look fabulous on that color door, but this is where I needed to hang it to get the glamour shot, and I think it is adorable. You guys, let me know, what do you think of this one? And definitely tell me, do you like this kind of hippie flower pink and purple vibe?